Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS and Capital Games. You guys got to get on this. We're over in Grand Arena. We're 2-0 so far. Main account plus the girlfriend's account. Both won our first battles. But there was a distinct problem, and it's not a problem that only I had. And of course, it's anecdotal, but many people who reached out to me said I had this similar problem. A lot of my friends who are also content creators and streamers also said they had this problem at a pretty high percentage. Lots of them have multiple accounts. They do multiple GACs. And that's autoplace. And I don't think that necessarily autoplacing is that bad. Of course, it is a problem. It does ruin GACs. Like, you place like a nice, strong defense, and then you don't have much left. You're memeing around, you're trying to take it seriously, and you get teams like this. Of course, I'm not a great example. If you guys saw my stream from last night, we didn't exactly take it all that seriously. I think we did like 6 battles at one point where we were throwing in gear 8s versus full relics, because the one for all of the talent and amazing GAC maneuvers I have, my biggest weakness is my inability to ignore your guys' terrible suggestions for Grand Arena. But it's not that the auto places are necessarily the end of the world. Some players want the free minimum rewards for being part of GAC, but don't have the time to commit to GAC. And auto place is, while outdated, an acceptable way to at least get teams out on the field so that your opponent has a chance to at least utilize them. A workaround that I'd have no idea if they could possibly implement from a technical standpoint is like, well, maybe history, like, oh, these are the teams they usually place, or these are the squads they have, so we'll auto place, but we'll take from their squad tab. But then how would you decide which squad tab would be for GAC? Maybe you have to set up a specific GAC squad tab, like it's a separate tab, so you have to set that up just in the off chance, but no one's going to do that. So that's obviously a workaround we don't need to worry about too much. But the main problem is 3v3. 5v5 Grand Arena, you're always going to get a certain number. Oh, well, I guess there's my my points for the good old victory there. Perfect timing, I guess. But if 5v5, you're going to get a certain amount of auto places. You're going to get a certain amount of people who are going to place a hard defense and not play. That's just how it is. There's rewards for not doing anything, so everyone's going to at least enter, and not necessarily everyone's going to participate. That's not the end of the world. I understand that. I think the bigger problem at large, and I don't know why Capital Games hasn't done this or changed this or at least listened to us about this, is 3v3 in general. Now, you guys know me. I use 3v3 as an entire month of memes, just to, basically mess around and have a good time with you guys on stream. And I know a lot of other streamers have similar philosophies. Some take it more seriously than others. I think it's nice to have it every once in a while. Like, if it was every 3 or 4 months, you get a 3v3 and you're like, okay, cool. We can wind down. We can have some fun. We don't got to take it seriously. We don't got to banner pinch. We don't got to, play it like super close to the chest and super try hard, which can be frustrating or at least tiresome at times, taking it so seriously. But every other GAC month, we get a 3v3, and there are people out there who love themselves some 3v3. There are some people out there who accept 3v3. But you guys go into your own communities. Maybe you guys are in guilds. Go in your guild Discord. Maybe you guys have separate communities outside, like you're followers of a certain, I'll use myself as an example, like you're part of the 69th Precinct. Maybe, you're a fan of Arnold or Cubs or whoever, and you guys have your own separate communities where you chat, maybe a comment section. Go ask those people and think about it yourself. Do you get the same amount of enjoyment in a Grand Arena month from 3v3 as you do 5v5? And I guess it's fine if 3v3 is slightly less fun. It's not optimal, but it's still pretty good. But I'd wager to say that there are a large amount of people who they get frustrated when you build up, the whole game is 5v5, and you build up these great squads, and you want to continually work on them. Maybe you're high end, you want to work out some speeds, some mods, you want to get some synergies down. Maybe there's new characters to the game, you want to work on new team comps. And let's say like Bad Batch, for example. We had Bad Batch. Some people got them super early, some people slow farmed them, some people were medium spenders, and they're getting these teams. I'm just using Bad Batch as an example. You can take any team. You can be an early game player and you just unlock CLS or Darth Revan or whatever. And you want to mess around with this team. You want to iron down maybe turn orders in terms of speed. Maybe you want to learn their kits better and see how they synergize against this squad or that squad. And then right as you unlock that squad, 3v3 comes around, and you're like, well, I can't test for a month. I mean, maybe I could test in squad arena, but maybe this isn't a squad arena level team. Maybe you're in an arena where, you know, you have a GL and Bad Batch is not going to cut it versus GLs, and you can't find someone, or you don't have like a really close-knit shard chat who will place whatever squad you want to fight. You have no place to test this out. You got a brand new squad, and you can't really do anything with it. Because the reason at the end of the day, you guys are getting these squads for Grand Arena. Let's be honest. Most people, the biggest concern when I ask them, like, hey, what do you want out of your roster? When we're doing roster reviews or just, you know, general advice. Like, what is it you want? Some people will, of course, say, you know, I love raids, even though the raids are very stale. I love territory wars. Territory wars are actually a great place. You know, you see a lot of the same squads. You get some good practice. You can have some fun with your guildmates and stuff like that. But most people are all about Grand Arena. And it's really annoying that 50% of the year, 6 months out of the year, I'm getting no good practice with squads that I've worked. I can't test out stuff for the actual game. The game is meant to be played in 5v5, or at least in my opinion. Of course, this is subjective. You guys could have totally different opinions. Let me know in the comment section. Of course, you know, I go through all the comments. But, yeah, let me know. Like, are you guys frustrated when 3v3 comes along because, you know, you want to test out the new toys? Do you think it's like me, where you just take it as a giant joke and you kind of just, you know, mess around, have a good time, send in Cup Wat Tambor C-3PO for max banners against whatever team just because you can? Do you take it super seriously? Maybe this is like, oh, you know, this is my time to grind up that first place in Kyber at Division 6 or whatever you might be in? Or how do you guys play your 3v3s? But just for me, man, like, I don't know, like, I set up my defense, you know, anticipating my opponent to play. Of course, I have a better roster, but, you know, like, I threw down a weak gas, tried to bait out a team. I threw it a GG because I knew he'd have to use, like, an okay counter, and Darth Revan, he'd probably have to mirror match or something like that. In the back wall, I even played some tricks. I played some weak squads, so, you know, he would have to, you know, use some pretty easy stuff here, but I threw in a tough new Gunray, Relic 7 Django, Relic 4 B1, because I knew it's a fantastic 3v3 squad. And, you know, it was looking to be a great Grand Arena. I thought it was going to be competitive. I mean, not super competitive, but, you know, it was going to be slightly competitive. And then I hop in, and I'm like, oh, I look here, and he had, like, what were his leaderships down here? I see, like, Jedi Knight Rev and Darth Rev. I'm like, okay, he placed a strong defense. You know, we're going to really get to go after it. And then I saw, like, a Saj. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I saw EP. I'm like, oh, you know, EP could be a good defensive team. Guys, don't take Gear 8 characters versus this EP TM debuff machine. Gear 8s are not cutting it for full Relic 4, 5, 3. But what really threw me off is I saw GK. I'm like, GK in a leadership? That's quite strange. So I investigated, and I saw it was an auto set. And if you guys were in that stream, like, my face, I was like, okay, this is going to be a good one. I'm like, I know I like to take it not so seriously, but, you know, I was looking forward to having a good week 1, round 1 battle. And then I was struck with this, and, you know, I placed a strong defense, so, like, my Gear 8 characters weren't getting through, like, full Relic 7 hodgepodge teams like this. I didn't even get to attempt this battle because I messed around too much. That was my own fault. I mean, I probably could have full cleared if I took it seriously, but I didn't get to go into ships. I didn't get to see what ships he liked to place, or, I mean, they would have been auto places, so it would have been bad, but you know what I'm saying. So let me know down in the comment section, if you guys were in control, how often would 3v3 come around? Would it ever come around? Would you replace it with something? Would you replace it with one-on-ones? That would be funny. That would be a terrible game mode. Would you replace it with something? How would you change GAC in the 3v3 months, or would you just keep it the same? As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you later.